Beauty and the Beast. Once upon a time, there was a wealthy merchant living in a village. The merchant had a beautiful daughter named Belle. One day, the merchant was going out to visit a somewhat far town for a big business deal. "Hey, Belle, what kind of souvenir should I get for you?" "I don't need anything." "Come on, don't be like that. Hey, just tell me what you want." "Well then, I want a rose. Please buy me a single rose." Belle asked the merchant with a gentle smile. And the merchant made a big mistake in the deal and ended up losing all the money he prepared for it. The merchant didn't even have enough money to get a carriage home, and so he was miserably walking home with a long way to go before he gets back. Eventually, the merchant lost his way in a deep forest. "This is strange. I'm sure I have walked this path already." Having succumbed to fatigue and hunger, the merchant sat down on a tree stump there. "This might be the end of me. I'm sorry, Belle." But then... Huh? There is some building over there. All right, let's get closer. The building the merchant had found was a huge old castle. The castle's walls were heavily weathered, all covered in long vines. The garden appeared to have been long abandoned, and it was completely deserted. Maybe there's nobody living here. The merchant opened the gate and went inside the castle. When the merchant reached the castle's hall, there was an unbelievable sight before his eyes. Surprisingly, in the hall, there was a lavish feast prepared. Having felt extremely hungry, the merchant immediately jumped at the food there. "Whew! I'm full now. I feel alive again." Eventually, the merchant lied down on a big bed, which he stumbled upon in one of the rooms and fell into a deep sleep. The next morning, the merchant woke up and headed to the hall where he had the gorgeous dinner last night. There was breakfast, already prepared. The merchant was sure that the food was made by the people in the castle to please him, and he enjoyed the food without a worry. After finishing the food, while the merchant was looking out the window into the castle's courtyard, he noticed a flower bed with beautiful flowers in it. In the flower bed, among other flowers, there were a lot of colorful roses blooming. The merchant remembered that Belle wanted a rose for a souvenir and went down to the courtyard and then snapped off the stem of a single red rose. Then, suddenly,
"Hey, you! What do you think you're doing?"
with the roar, a beast showed up in front of the merchant. The beast was more than twice as tall as the merchant, covered in brown hair, and there were 2 tusks growing from his boar-like face. The beast glared at the merchant with his fierce red eyes.
Even though I offered you great hospitality, you dare to touch my precious rose?
I'm so sorry. Please, forgive me.
No, it's an unforgivable crime to pick my rose. I'll take your life.
It seemed the merchant has made the beast completely furious. All right, I'll give you my life. But before you kill me, please give me a chance to see my daughter. Once. Please, give me just 1 week.
Fine. But you must make sure to come back here after a week.
After making a promise with the beast, the merchant rushed back home. Having seen the merchant come back home in rags, Belle immediately rushed to him. Father, what on earth has happened? The merchant then, while hanging his head down in shame, told Belle everything. From completely losing his money in the town to the beast he has encountered in the castle. Father, please take me to that castle. I will persuade the beast not to kill you. No, that'd be futile. I really don't think such a dreadful beast would listen to anyone. It will be fine. I have an idea, so please take me there. When they arrived at the castle, the beast was there, waiting in front of the gate.
Ha! I wasn't actually expecting you to come back.
Then, Belle, despite shivering in terror, stood before the beast. Father picked the rose to give it to me, so I'm the one who should be guilty. I'll stay in this castle instead. So please, forgive my father.
Belle, what are you saying?
I'm fine, Father. I was already prepared to do this before we came here.
Are you serious, little girl? You are going to stay in this castle with such an ugly monster like me?
Yes.
Very well. Go inside the castle, girl.
Farewell, Father. Please take care. No, Belle, don't go, please! From the outside of the closed gate, the merchant kept on shouting at the beast, and Belle disappearing into the castle. And so, Belle began to live in the huge castle along with the beast, with just the 2 of them. Although at first, due to the fear of the beast and the loneliness caused by the separation from her father, Belle shut herself in her room. Over time, there was a gradual change in her state of mind. It was because the life in the castle was far more comfortable than she first expected. The beast provided lovely dresses as well as accessories for Belle. Also, the beast has never done anything to harm her. One night, when Belle came to the hall, there was the beast having a meal alone. Do you mind if I join you?
No. Now the castle is also yours. You don't need to hesitate about anything.
The beast's eyes were looking soft and calm. At this point of time, Belle was feeling no fear towards the beast. Rather, she was starting to feel affection towards him. One day, while they were having dinner together, the beast suddenly stood up.
Belle, I have a favor to ask. Would you please marry me?
What? Being extremely astonished by the sudden proposal, Belle was at a loss for words. After a little while of silence, the beast left his seat without any words and returned to his room. His back looked very lonely to Belle. Ever since that time, the beast has stayed in his room without appearing in front of Belle. Although Belle often came to the door of the beast's room, she couldn't speak to him. That day, Belle received a single letter. Right after reading that letter, Belle rushed to the beast's room and knocked hard on the door. Please, allow me to go home just for a week. My father might be dying of illness. I promise, I'll surely come back here after a week. Then she heard the beast's voice from behind the door.
Fine. You can go. You don't need to return here anymore. You are free already. Just stay with your father all the time.
What? What does that mean? The beast didn't respond to Belle's question. Belle then ran out of the castle without taking any of her belongings. When Belle got back home, her father was lying in bed, suffering from illness. Father, hey, look! It's me, Belle!
Oh, Belle! I can't believe that I could see you again. So it's not a dream?
No, it's not. I'm never, ever going to leave you. From that day, Belle kept on looking after him for 3 days and 3 nights. Thanks to Belle's dedicated care, her father managed to get over his illness and recovered enough to take a short walk outside. However, despite her father's recovery, Belle still had something on her chest. Belle couldn't help constantly remembering the beast's face. One night, Belle had a dream. In her dream, the beast was suffering from illness while groaning in agony. The beast's huge body looked completely withered away, being a mere shadow of what he used to be. Upon waking up, Belle rushed out of the house. I can't help it. I can't leave him alone. I'm sorry, Father. I will go back to that castle. Belle desperately ran through the dark forest, lit only by the moonlight. There, she got completely covered in mud and got her pretty clothes all ragged from repeatedly falling down to the ground. Nonetheless, she continued to run without stopping. Belle arrived at the castle before daybreak and found the beast lying in the courtyard. The dream Belle had turned out to be true. Belle immediately ran to the beast held him in her arms, and hugged him tight.
Oh, Belle, you came back. Thank you.
The beast said in a weak, faint voice. I will be by your side from now on and forever. I have found myself falling in love with you. I will marry you, so please don't die. Then a bright flash of light came out of the beast's body, and it wrapped around them. With the light's blinding brightness, Belle couldn't open her eyes. After a little while, the light was gone. When Belle slowly opened her eyes, a very beautiful young man with a gentle smile was standing there. Who are you?
I'm the ugly beast.
What? How is that possible?
A long time ago, I was turned into the beast with an evil spell by a wizard, and I was told that the spell would be broken when I find someone who truly loves me, regardless of my ugly appearance. You have expressed your true love for me, and the spell has been finally broken. Belle, you will marry me, will you? Yes, no matter what you look like. I love you. With a smile, Belle gave a kiss to the young man.